Alright guys, it's me and I'm back again for Act 3, The Beyond, the final act of Slay the Spire, Ascension 10 with the Silent, and we're going to be running through this in a second. I'm just going to show you guys, in case you're just tuning in, what we've gotten so far. So I have the starting relic, Bronze Scales, which is just thorns for 3, Pen Nib, which is useless for us because we've removed all the attacks from our deck, basically. Tiny Chest, which is just a very marginal effect, but, you know, we'll take it. Bird-Faced Urn, which is what's letting us keep our health up throughout the run and is very powerful. Tingsha, which is also, like, quite useless for this deck. We're not discarding cards very often. Cursed Key, which is the big breadwinner of this deck. It's giving us an extra energy every turn, which is extremely powerful, probably the most powerful effect. I think Cursed Key is one of the top, like, 3 relics in the game. Basically, any relic that gives an extra mana is nuts. Frozen Egg, nice one, just letting us upgrade powers. Peace Pipe, which we'll almost certainly never use, because when you get to rest sites, you just either want to upgrade or heal, usually. Ornamental Fan, which would be great if we were the Infinite Blades, like Shiv version of the deck, but we're the Poison version of the deck, so this will also never come up. Thread and Needle, basically a free block every turn. I love having this relic. It's super useful. Keeps you from taking damage. Orichalcum, which not so great for this deck because we just never end the turn without block, so it just never triggers. And the one that we got from the last boss, the Runic Pyramid, which I agonized over for a bit at the end of the last video. This is going to be pretty powerful. It'll let us cycle through our deck, or not cycle through our deck as fast, but just make sure that we have more cards in hand, typically. And I will show you the deck as well. Still got 5 unupgraded defends and 2 strikes. You start with a Parasite. We got a bunch of other curses, like from the Cursed Key and stuff, so all our card removal has gone towards getting rid of those. But what we do have is the Noxious Fumes, which is how this deck and Deadly Poison, how this deck actually, like, kills the enemies. A Footwork, which we picked up, which is really nice to have. I would really love a second one of these, or a third one of these. 4 might be too many, but at least 3 would be amazing. After Image, which is going to be great, and then a bunch of defense, and that's pretty much what the deck does. So let's get through Ascension 10. I still want to hit as many elites as possible at this point just to maximize our score. Looks like I can only get 2 this run, which is sort of weird. I wouldn't mind getting a shop in here at some point because I do have some money. So there's only 1 elite this way. The right-hand path is the best path, like the far right path, but there's only 1 elite. That still might be the best way to do it, just to make sure that we actually beat Ascension 10, which I haven't done. This is my first attempt at Ascension 10, so in case that wasn't clear from my earlier videos. So anyways, we're just going to play it relatively safe on floor 3. Floor 3 can be really tough, although this is not one of the hardest encounters that you can encounter. This turn I actually can use Orichalcum and just not bother blocking, but I actually don't have enough stuff to do if I do that, so oh, actually, After Image gets me block anyways, so Orichalcum doesn't work. So we're just going to leg sweep this Darkling. Get him nice and weakened as we're going forwards. As always, the plan is to just set up with powers on the first few turns and then eventually win, as the opponents get bored of hitting themselves against our pointy face. We've got 18, 25 damage incoming and currently 11 blocks, so I need to hit another 14 block. We can do a dodge and roll. And a blur is only 11, so I don't get to play 1,000 cuts this turn, but that's fine. We'll just do blur, defend, defend, and plan to play 1,000 cuts next turn. Already healed to full. Thanks to this bird-faced urn. Man, what a weird looking bird. And then we can just do 1,000 cuts. Strike. And I'll do defend. Not gonna play deflect, because all the cards stay in my hand, so just get to keep as many cards as we want. I don't actually need to spend all my mana every turn either, but I usually will. Let's see, I'm gonna deadly poison something. We'll say this guy. Got 18, 28 damage incoming. That's a lot, and I don't have my footwork up yet, so it's actually hard to find enough block for that. I can do 10, 12, 13. I have another 18, so this plus the threaded needle is enough block. I don't have to use a potion to not take damage. And I don't need to play this well-laid plans. It does the same thing that the relic does. So I'll save it for a turn when I want the 1 damage from 1,000 cuts. Here I get to go with footwork, backflip, drawing some cards, deflect. I've got, this is 27 damage. I have 23 blocks, so just one more block, and Noxious Fumes, which will get us set up to actually win this fight. This was a long fight because we didn't draw Noxious Fumes until really late in it. These guys are going to keep coming back forever, but hopefully we can take them out before too much longer. I'm saving this well-laid plans in case, like, I somehow take damage. And then I can use it as a heal. Though we will try to get this out of our deck, probably, since it is a literal blank in this deck, thanks to Runic Pyramid, which just does what it does for free every turn. That guy's gonna bleed out this guy, so I just need to do another 5, which I can do. Oh, here we go. Got the deadly poison, and turn. And do I take another deflect? I don't actually think I do. I do like deflect, but I think what I need in this deck mostly is card draw. Already got 2 deflects in the deck. A third one puts me in danger of just drawing too many of them and not having enough like total block, and also makes it harder for me to get to my footwork, which is what's needed to power up those deflects. You begin to fall. Lose dodge and roll, lose footwork, lose neutralize. Brutal. Well, I can't lose dodge and roll or footwork. Those are just too critical for the deck, so I'm going to lose neutralize. Not a card I wanted to take out of my deck, because it's 0 mana, and I spent an upgrade on it and everything, but not the worst outcome either. Lose all gold and gain a relic. This is a highly ornamented tomb. It can be seen on the other side of a floating path. Upon reaching the tomb, you notice a slot for gold coins with a scratched out inscription above it. Lose all gold and gain a relic. Am I hitting a shop anytime? Doesn't actually look like it. I could also take this middle path and hit a second elite, avoiding this shop. I might actually do that rather than go to the right. It's a lot more combats, but there's still question marks near the end, so yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, I will spend all my gold on this red mask. Applying 1 week to all enemies at the beginning of combat is really nice in some fights. Just some free health, basically. Gives you a little more time to set up your defenses, too. This deck, like, basically takes a turn or 2 to get set up, as you've seen. So we need to make sure that we're doing that safely. Oh, I should have played 1,000 cuts first, because I intend to, right? With 4 and 3. Yeah, I should have. Oh well. Oh no, I thought I was gonna draw a block here, but that's fine. I still have the 5 from Plated Needle. Yeah, I'll get the Deadly Poison going rather than getting the Caltrops going. This guy is gonna get 3 strength every turn and add burns to my deck, so I really do want to kill him quickly. Get that Caltrops out there. I can do Survivor discarding well-laid plans, and I'm gaining 5 armor, so I don't need to play any more cards, but I'll play this strike. Footwork, leg sweep. I'm getting this guy nice and weakened. I don't need to play any more cards. And this is the really nice thing about the Runic Pyramid, is you can just keep your hand super stacked. Do I even draw here? I don't think I do. I'm just gonna go dodge and roll. And so, like, each of these does 8 block because it has, I have 3 dexterity, plus 1 more from the what's it called, After Image ability. So, like, my defends are defending for 9 even unupgraded. It's very, like, all these cards combo together very well. And you can kind of see where the deck is coming from at this point. This is a pretty good version, not like the best version I've ever had, but you can very consistently, I think, get a version of the deck that looks something like this. Triple burn. That's unfortunate. So we're taking 6 from these burns, plus 28. So I need to do 3 blocks. Do I even need to deflect? So 28, that's 8 left. 6 and 5, yeah, so I'm good. The burns at least don't stay in my hand, even though I have the Runic Pyramid. And so then just play any 3 cards to do 1,000 cuts damage to it and let it die to poison. I guess I could have used Deadly Poison, would have been a little faster. I'm trying to cut down on, like, unnecessary time, just to... Ooh, that was a bit of lag. Make sure that you guys don't have to watch anything too boring. An upgraded dodge and roll will definitely go in the deck. Ooh. After Image and Footwork in the first turn. I need to block for 13, so leg sweep will do it, or strike defend. I'll just do leg sweep. Get that weakened out there. This character class cycles through its deck a lot and takes a little bit longer to win fights than the other character class, so like I said, I'm just trying to do these fights a little fast, which is, it partly explains, not that I should be making too many excuses, but it does partly explain some of the the worst mistakes that I've been making. Let's just keep on striking, I guess. These guys you have to kill all at once because they have lifelink. I have plenty of block this turn, so Caltrops, 1,000 cuts, and strike. Ooh, I actually triggered my pen nib 20 fights later. If I get the last 2 strikes out of my deck, actually I don't even have to get them out of my deck, I can just not play them, get the achievement for winning a fight without using an attack, which I don't have yet. Let's get this dodge and roll out. Just need to block for 27, right? So I'll do Survivor, discarding well-laid plans for the extra 3 damage. Now that the Noxious Fumes is on the table, these guys will start going down a little faster. That was a weird noise. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Let's get you weakened and make sure I have enough block. Hand's gonna be full because I'm not playing all my defends or anything every turn. Deadly poison. Escape plan. Dodge and roll. Strike. And pass the turn. And I should be able to win on this coming turn. These guys are both beating themselves to death on the pointy bits. And end turn and let them die to poison. Basically, by the time the deck is all set up, you just really shouldn't be running out of... I don't actually need this regen potion. I was thinking of discarding, but I'd rather have the block potions, I think. You shouldn't actually take damage on most of these fights. Get to fight an elite here. This fight is the worst. I hate this guy. I think everyone hates this guy. This power that he's about to use will make him only take 1 damage from any source of damage, including poison, whatever. It is very obnoxious. So I'm going to start with 1,000 cuts and just start getting damage out on him. This is going to be a long fight. He will also fill our deck with curses. Oh, I should have struck there, actually. Yeah, I don't know. He's going to hit me with 3 attacks here. I'm going to start getting damage ready on him. Do I need to play anything? I don't, so let's just keep on passing. You can see my deck is getting filled with burns. I'm going to actually try to fill my hand and just leave it full to avoid having to deal with this guy's with the curses that he's filling my deck with. 20, so if I do backflip, drawing 2, then that's good enough. This is my turn for dealing damage to him, so basically every 3 turns I get to try to deal some damage to him. So I'm going to get these strikes going. Get dodge and roll prepped, and I won't escape plan yet. So the plan is to try to just stack up a bunch of poison so that over the next few turns of this I can finish him off. I'm going to get some burns in my hand probably once I hit this cycle, so we'll just make sure I can keep Survivor to discard them. I have plenty of defense in hand and defense in play. He takes 1 again. Then he takes 1, 1, 1 every time he hits me. Let's make sure that I've got some stuff going. So, defend. 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 It's 27. Survivor. I'll discard well-laid plans, and then I don't have to play anything else. I really do try to keep all these resources in hand once I have a runic pyramid going, because it makes it much easier to avoid, or to make sure that I don't take damage. So 2 more turn cycles, I think, and we should be able to clear this guy. Hand is going to be full of burns, which do 4 damage to me at the end of my turn. Very annoying. I'm going to go ahead and blur here and defend because I have a blur, and then strike, strike. Those are only for 1 damage each, but I had the mana, so I might as well play them. The damage that we're doing is basically with the poison anyways. Alright, so we're taking 16 from this and 40 from this. So dodge and roll. And then I need one more defend. And that's 56. The good news is, every time these burns go off, they count as being played, so he takes a damage from 1,000 cuts. So, I need to survive one more cycle and I should be okay. Yeah, I'll hit him with a strike. And I guess I don't need to get the dodge and roll going, I'll just pass. I can dodge and roll next turn. Dodge and roll, blur. Don't need anything else, right? I'm taking 4, gaining 5, taking 15, yep. At this point, it's just a lot of counting. This guy is very annoying. If I didn't have this runic pyramid to make sure that my hand was full of like useful cards every turn, this would be extremely difficult just because of the amount of dead cards that are in my deck. Like, if you look at my deck, it is all burns, but because my hand is sort of full from earlier of useful cards, I can maintain a decent defense. It's good, though, that there's only one more turn cycle, because if I had to keep doing this, I'd be in a lot of trouble, and I actually have to spend one of my deflects this turn. I guess I could have used well-laid plans or strike there. No, wait, because I have all these burns, so I need 52, so I need to defend again, or deflect again. Glad I actually paid attention to the cards that were in my hand. Not something I've been amazing at so far this run. But now we get to go strike. There's no burns in my hand, so I can just end turn and let him poison himself. Whew! Alright. That was a good Nemesis fight. Oh, this is amazing. Bag of Preparation combos so well with Runic Pyramid. You just end up with a lot of cards in hand all the time. I don't need this Ancient Potion, so I won't pick it up. I will take this Adrenaline, though. Adrenaline is the best card that you can get in this class. It's just free draw. What's not to love? Free draw, free extra energy. It's the Maw. Some sort of weird shark with hands. I'm not happy about the Maw, but that's just because he's a weird shark with hands, not because he's a difficult opponent. Make sure I've got all this poison going, and then, yeah, let's do the no attack achievement on this fight. I think I can do that pretty easily here. Just hit defend. Didn't even need to do that, actually. So if I just don't play these strikes, I'll get no attacks. Here, we'll get our dodge and roll ready. I'm gonna backflip, drawing 2 cards. I will blur. I will adrenaline, drawing 2 cards. I just wanted to cycle through to get one of these powers in play. Pass the turn. Oh no, not 16 damage. What'll I do? Dodge and roll, and pass the turn. With my 38 armor. The other best relic that you can get for this class is the Calipers, which mean that instead of losing all your block at the end of your turn, you only lose 15 of it. And because you stack up so much block, that actually means you basically end up with hundreds or thousands of block. You know, get everything out there, don't need to do anything else. Let the Maw keep poisoning himself. My hand is full. Dodge and roll. I will Survivor, discarding strike. Ooh, that's right. And then I need to defend once more, so I'll play a defend. And turn. He does get stronger over time, so I can't, like, keep this fight going forever. But I think we have enough defense that I can do this without using strikes. 8 times 4 is 32, so we're fine. Sometimes you have to do math when you play this game, and it's a difficult life. Let's do escape plan, backflip. Oops. Missed a draw there, and I'll just blur. Just get tanked up this turn for his next turn's giant attack with plus 9 strength on him. So he's doing 14 times 5, and I don't have a weakening effect? So that's 14 times 5 is 20, 70? That's a lot of damage. Let's actually get this poison potion on him just to make sure I don't have to, like, keep blocking forever. Because that'll let me bring him down this turn, I think. I guess I didn't need to do that. That was a waste. This is what you get when you start, get for trying to be fancy. End up wasting potions. And turn, and I think this should get us the no attacks in a combat achievement. Unless yeah, alright, come at me. Do I want calculated gamble? It's now more interesting because I have all this card draw. Let's take a quick look at the deck. It's a free card. No, I think we can still avoid taking... no, it'll let us cycle for footwork, so I will take calculated gamble. I think that is a bit of a gamble. Just because I don't think I actually need the card. And you shouldn't really add cards to your deck that you don't need. This deck is getting quite bloated, actually. It's like much larger than I think the ideal deck is, but that's partly because we started with an extra card and keep getting curses from the key. So let's get that going. Let's cycle. I'm looking for Noxious Fumes here so I can get that set up. We'll get After Image down and Noxious Fumes down. That was a good draw, by the way. Really want to get this Well-Laid Plans and these strikes out of my deck as soon as I can. Still got an achievement. And sure, we'll do strike, strike. And I'm just gonna pass. This guy you're supposed to kill quickly. As you've seen, though, we don't kill anything quickly. So, because after 5 turns, he starts being mean. Do I just gamble to do a bunch of damage? What's the rest of my deck look like? Yeah, it'll let me hit footwork, too. Alright. See how much damage that was? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. That was a decent amount of damage. I'll get footwork out there. Use this escape plan. Get leg sweep going. And a deadly poison. Yeah, that was a good gamble, actually, because it it let me get footwork online, it let me get the deadly poison online. Get this guy a little bit, start putting him down a little faster. Get this dodge and roll out, back flip, and strike. Don't need to do anything else, but I wouldn't draw anything anyways, so I'll get that defend. I'll just throw out that defend for the 1 damage. Oh, he's only hitting for 40. And the defend, and I don't need to do anything else, so we pass. We've now really gotten into the rhythm of this deck. So this guy will hit for 5 more every single turn that he's alive. He's a lot like the other guy in that respect. Luckily, we defend for a lot. I'll do defend, defend. If I do strike, strike, that's, yeah, 2 after image procs. Plus 5 from the thread and needle. Just making sure that I hit 45 here. It's not impossible that I take damage this fight, though. Oh, nice. Got the leg sweep. Plenty of damage here, so let's just gamble my whole hand away. Just to do some damage. And in turn. Yeah, let's get leg sweep out there. I need to hit 41 defense. Do I? And I want to get this poison on him. So I'm going to use a deflect. And then I need, if to defend. Keep on cycling through. This elite is, I'm sorry about this. This is pretty boring to watch. I should have said at the beginning that you might want to skip ahead a little in the video because this guy is going to take forever. That being said, it is a really good showcasing of what this deck does. That dodge and roll out there. Get the backflip out there. Do I need any more defense? I do not, so we can strike. And the poison is starting to stack up. This is also where I would really like to have a second Noxious Fumes in the deck, because it just makes stuff like this go way faster. Leg sweep to make sure he is still weakened. I'm gonna go ahead and blur. I'm gonna throw out the deflect because I have a blur going, and I will strike. Still got these 2 block potions in case of emergency. And as well, we can, if we ever actually take damage, we have 5 powers in our deck, so we heal sort of 10 a combat. Yeah, let's just, I guess I'll cycle Escape Plan first, and then I will Calculated Gamble. Cycle Escape Plan again. Play dodge and roll, play dodge and roll. Play leg sweep. And turn. Guy takes 6 again. The enemies that hit multiple times a turn also take less time because of the caltrops that we've got going, and luckily we have finally brought down the giant head. Ooh. Whenever you add a skill card to your deck, it's upgraded. Not bad with the Toxic Egg. I could get Choke Plus, but I don't really need that. All out attack plus, backstab minus. These all are just bloat which I can skip. Have Clumsy here. We got a +1 strength at the start of each combat. Could not be more useless for this deck. I'm going to have to get rid of the Clumsy as soon as I can. Oh no. Become cursed, writhe, or receive 2 madness and lose 10 HP. Random card in your hand costs 0 for the rest of combat. Exhaust. I think madness is too bad in this deck. A lot of our cards already cost 0. We're just gonna have to take the curse, and then I will try to get rid of that at the campsite, because we do have the peace pipe, so we can remove these curses at the campsites. Let's get... I guess I'd rather have After Image online before 1,000 cuts, so I'm gonna get After Image, 1,000 cuts, Noxious Fumes, Adrenaline, dodge and roll. I guess I didn't actually need to dodge and roll there, because I have +5 from Needle and Thread. It's sort of hard to do the math with Thread and Needle. Gets a little bit annoying. Need to block for 22, so let's do Caltrops. I will go ahead and leg sweep this guy. Take a little bit less, so now I only need to block for 19, which I've already done. And I will poison that guy, because he's adding dazes to my deck, which is very annoying. Want to get him off the table as soon as possible. Luckily, again, Runic Pyramid really mitigates the amount that adding bad cards to your deck hurts you, because you get to just keep cards from turn to turn. So I basically have like just a giant hand all the time, as you may or may not have noticed. Yeah, let's get this footwork online. And defend. I'm vulnerable, unfortunately, but that's fine. I'll Survivor, discarding Writhe. I'm fine on block. This guy's gonna die, so I don't need to play anything else. Need to watch out for when this guy explodes and make sure that I have enough block to cover his explosion. Dodge and roll. Blur. Defend. And I can strike, right? Yeah. Strike. This is a good run, too, because I got an achievement. Oh no! I just said I need to watch out for his explosion. Oh no, right. He won't die until next turn. Shows what I know. So I have to make sure that I block for 22 plus 12, 34. I could calculated gamble here. Sure, why not? This is the other good thing about this deck with calculated gamble, is the deck's sort of all basically the same. Let's get that dodge and roll out there. And given that the deck is all very consistent and very similar cards, I can just throw away cards and get very similar cards back, which is what I meant right at the beginning about making sure that your cards are, or making sure that your deck is focused. I don't need to do anything this turn, so let's just do, we'll just pass. Let the thing block, but it doesn't matter because poison pierces block, and we end turn, and it poisons itself to death. Good thing we have that +1 strength, right? This would be much more useful if we still had Neutralize in the deck. I actually would take this card, because it's basically a free attack. It cycles, gives you a mana back when the enemies are weak. But given that we don't have Neutralize in the deck, enemies will not be weak consistently enough to activate Heal Hook, so this is another easy skip card. Gonna go here. I'm gonna get the curses out of my deck, or at least a curse out of my deck. Get this writhe going. Still gonna end up with the well-laid plans and 2 strikes at the end, which will be blanks. I don't even have enough money to remove the remove the curse at this merchant, but I do have enough money to buy this Noxious Fumes, which will be upgraded. I can't afford any of these, but I don't want any of these either. Oh, I'd love the Runic Dodecahedron, actually, because I'm always going to be at full health. But I'll take this Noxious Fumes. It'll just make killing the boss a little faster, so that if I get one of the bosses that needs to die quickly, it won't be so bad. I could buy potions, but I don't need to. Ow, her gloved fist collides with your face. And we will hop into this fire. I'm going to go ahead and remove the Clumsy from my deck. Having the Clumsy in my deck isn't like a disaster, but it's free to remove it, so I might as well. And we are ready to confront the boss on the final boss of Ascension 10. Hope you guys are enjoying the run so far. Alright, we've got the Time Eater. So the Time Eater's unique mechanic is very annoying for the Silent. Whenever I play 12 cards, and it's not just in a turn, but 12 cards total, my turn is ended and it gets stronger. So I need to be very careful about making sure not to do that on a turn where it's gonna get to hit me. So what I'm going to do is start with, as usual, After Image. Then I'm going to draw. I'll get the Noxious Fumes down, because definitely got to do that, and get the dodge and roll down. And let's see, I get 5, so 17. So if I do Blur, I've cast 5 spells so far, 18, so I still need a Deflect in the mix, and then I will pass the turn. My plan is to just cast 6 spells every turn if possible, to make sure I cycle the boss's ability every second turn. Now that I've got my footwork out here, this is a lot better. Escape plan. I do defend, and maybe I just pass, actually. I can always use block potions to make up the difference if I have to. So I could cast 3 spells to cycle his turn, or I could pass and cast 3 spells next turn, which I think is going to be more useful overall. But this means that my next turn is limited to 3 spells total. Luckily, one of them can be Leg Sweep, which is a very good one to have. It's going to mean I only need to block for 18, which I've already done. So I'm going to also... And I do want to cast 3 spells so that I can cast more spells the turn after. I'm going to also throw out a defend and a strike. He ends my turn, gaining 2 strength, hitting me for 21. Want to get these caltrops online. Oops, sorry about that, the beep there. You know, quickly get out of. Gonna turn off Google Hangouts. So I could calculated gamble. Do I need to do that? Not really right now, but it will do some damage. I'm gonna start with 1,000 cuts, cause 3. Get this adrenaline out there. Nice. Drew into my other Noxious Fumes, which I'm definitely playing. Do I care about any of the rest of this? I'm just going to gamble the rest of this away for damage and to get caltrops and poison online. We've done 6 spells this turn. Opponent's going to block and curse me with vulnerability, and is also attempting to do 51 damage to me, which could be better. So I'm going to start by drawing, hoping to hit the card that makes him weak. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. But failing that, I'm just going to do a bunch of this. So that's 25. I can do Survivor, discarding Strike. I have 2 more spells, so I can do another 15 block for 47 plus 5. He gets 2 strength, so I'm still going to need a block potion, right? Because plus 2 strength is 50, he's hitting for 53, and 32 plus 15 is 47, plus 5 is 52. So I don't want to take a damage, because I want to kill this boss without taking any damage, so I'm going to use a block potion, and I will go with Blur, and Deflect. Little bit of overkill on the block potion to prevent 1 damage, but I really don't want to take damage, because you get more points if you take no damage against a boss. I also wanted to cycle his ability. So 12 times 3 is 36, so I just can do 1 block here and a strike. And I will pass the turn. Starting to stack up poison on this guy. He will go into a second stage when he hits about half health and remove all the poison from himself. It's pretty annoying, but what can you do? I don't need to leg sweep yet, so I will hold off on that. I will dodge and roll just to get it out of my hand, because I want to make sure I'm drawing full hand, and same with this defend. He's going to once again vulnerable and weak-alize me, and now I can weaken him. I have a deflect in hand, so 15. That's plenty, so I can do deadly poison plus defend plus deflect. Actually didn't even need that deflect, so that was actually pretty bad, because the deflects are important to keep in my hand. I have 3 cards to play this turn, so I might need another block potion. Because if I do 1 more, that's 21, 26, so no, I actually don't need another block potion. I'm just gonna cast a defend, I guess. Wait, if I strike, I go up to 22, then 27, and he's hitting for 27. No, he's hitting for 33, because he's gaining 2 strength. 11 times 3, yeah, 33. So, because he's gaining 2 strength, so I am going to defend. Oh, he's only hitting for 30, because he's weakened. Still, defend was correct there. So now he's going to remove all effects from himself with this ability. Luckily, I've done a bunch of damage to him already, so I'm going to go ahead and just tank up this turn, I think. We'll do Blur and dodge and roll, strike, and defend. And save the escape plans. He takes 48 and then heals himself for 117. Luckily, I'm still stacking up 6 poison a turn, so it's not so bad. I'm going to go ahead and cast Backflip before the calculated gamble to get an extra discard. I will leg sweep. I'd like to hit Blur off this gamble to make sure that I keep my armor. Didn't get there, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and poison him again. Get this poison nice and stacked, and end turn. And I have 4 cards to cast next turn. This boss is a lot about counting this timer. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Dodge and Roll, because it's my most powerful defensive tool. Similarly with Survivor. Discarding this strike. I'd like to be able to Deadly Poison this turn. Can I? I'm at 27, 28, 29 from playing 2 more cards. He's going to hit for... I don't know which way it's going to round, so 36, so let's do a block. So I'm fine if I cast Deadly Poison this turn. Yeah, so he's hitting for 36, but I have 37 defense. And I'm gonna make sure that he's weakened for this attack. Let's get this escape plan going. Do a sick backflip, because I gotta do sick flips, and we'll blur this turn just to make sure I've got some more armor for next turn. Blur is also really good with Threaded Needle, because this armor is free, and with Dodge and Roll, because it keeps both halves of the Dodge and Roll. Dodge and Roll, I will escape plan. I'm going to Calculated Gamble. Get that bell ringing. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure to keep him weakened, and I will... I'm just gonna pass, because I want 4 cards for next turn. I could have escape planned to search for Blur, but I don't think I was gonna hit it. And he's at 38 health and has 38 poison. So we end the turn, and that's Ascension 10 cleared. Alright, well that was pretty fun. The first boss gave me a scare because I played it so badly. But other than that, I think this was a pretty smooth run. The 3rd floor was great. We didn't take a single point of damage on the 3rd floor. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at Ascension 10 with the Silent. This is a new difficulty setting, and like I said, I haven't seen a lot of people beat it yet, so hopefully this helps other people who are trying to take runs at the really hard versions of this game. This game is not easy. It took me, 9 other runs of beating the previous Ascension levels to get comfortable enough with it to beat this one, and find a deck that I liked and stuff like that. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, I am Terran. I probably will post some more videos more often than every year and a half. I'm hoping to anyways. And yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, blah blah blah, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers and GG. 1100 damage. And we're out. Later, guys.